you are going to be involved in a debate next week where you will argue that anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism. Tell me why you think that is the case, because there are many on the left in particular who argue that being anti-Israel, being anti-Zionist is not the same as being anti-Semitic, and they point often to the fact that there are prominent Jews who call themselves anti-Zionists.
Yeah, I'm going to keep my powder dry for Toronto on Monday night. But it's
Not giving it away.
I'm not giving anything away. I mean, it's a topic that's incredibly important because just look at the way in which this word Zionist is now thrown around. I mean, the disgust with which it's thrown around, the way in which this word that describes this noble and wonderful concept of Jewish statehood is being used as a slur. And, you know, as I say, once again, and I've seen it myself, saw it recently in Australia, in Melbourne and Sydney, you had protesters screaming about Zionists. Zionists, do they know what they're talking about? I don't think so. So I do want to set the record straight on some of that. I think that this is an extraordinary moment where there should be a moment of clarity in the West about this. And instead, I think that we're seeing an explosion of bigotry. And I'm looking forward to getting into the weeds in Toronto on Monday. So I think it's sold out, but anyone who wants to come to Roy Thompson Hall, perhaps they can bribe their way to get a ticket. I don't know.
Well, I pity whoever is facing you in this debate. You're not a man I would want to be having a all-out debate on, particularly on an issue like this, because I know you're passionate about it. And the debate is timely because we now have people marching in America and elsewhere in the West calling on Hezbollah to murder Zionists. And there's, it's just disturbing footage. Let's have a quick look. And I also want to get your reaction, Douglas, to what we've seen unfold after the rescue of those 4 hostages. So much criticism of Israel's tactics and the alleged collateral damage from the rescue mission. Was there another way for Israel to rescue its people? Should they have issued a warning, as the BBC suggested, before launching the mission?
It's amazing. First of all, on the Hezbollah people, just notice again, like the KKK, these people don't have the confidence to show their faces. Isn't it interesting that they're calling for support for a genocidal terrorist organization, but weirdly they cover their faces? Maybe they're not so sure of their views. Maybe they're not so proud of them. Maybe they know that Mummy wouldn't be so proud of them. Who knows? As for the sort of the raid this week, much of the media reported it as the release of 4 Israeli hostages. They weren't brave Israelis who are superbly trained went in and freed and rescued these poor 3 men and 1 woman. And the reporting on this has been absolutely despicable. You mentioned the BBC journalist who asked an Israeli official why they didn't give an advance warning of the raid in Gaza. I don't know. That's like asking somebody why they didn't go up to somebody and say, "I'm so sorry, I can't come to your surprise birthday party." I mean, the whole point of a raid like this is that it's a surprise, and the reason is that if you'd have given advance warning to Hamas in Gaza, then the hostages would most likely have been killed or spirited away to a tunnel that Hamas has built at all of our expense in the West. I mean, I'm stunned, as I've said to you before, Rita, the simple lack of empathy with the situation that the Israelis are in. They have more than 100 hostages still held by Hamas and Islamic Jihad and terror groups. And journalists and others, so-called journalists in Gaza, they want to get the hostages home. If Hamas wanted to end the war, it could end it tomorrow by handing over the hostages. Israel found the opportunity to get 4 of the hostages out. They were being harbored in civilian homes, in a civilian area. And there is a war going on there. And, the people who say, there was collateral damage, there were people killed, innocent people killed. I wouldn't believe the Hamas figures, by the way, and those are the ones that most of the media have run with as ever. But even if any innocent civilians were killed, obviously that's sad. But the problem is that it's almost like there's a moral lesson in this. Don't kidnap people and hold them in your house.
Yeah, that is a good lesson. That would reduce your chances of being involved in something like this. Before you go, I'm interested in your take on this debate that's happening online. A poll from 2023 is causing a great deal of debate among atheists, many of them embarrassed by the results. The poll found that atheists are more likely to support minors undergoing gender transition than in any other religious belief. And only 1 in 3, Douglas, of atheists support a ban on transitioning minors. How can that be when atheists, that I am one, was supposed to hold science-based, evidence-based beliefs? And I have trouble reconciling that with these results.
Well, Rita, I don't think that anyone has, or any one group has, a sort of prerogative on reason and rationalism. Atheists tend to say that they want to adhere in their moral frames to principles of reason and rationalism. I would simply say that this is a demonstration of something we've seen many times before, which is that the most reasonable and rational people can sign up to the most unreasonable and irrational cults. The gender woo-woo transition cult is one of the cults of our time. In previous ages, some of these people would have tried to work out how to turn base metals into gold. But we don't live in an age of alchemy. We live in the age of bizarre transition surgery, where cack-handed and wicked surgeons try to turn boys into girls and girls into boys. And they have as much success as alchemists did in the past. I'm very sorry for atheists who've fallen for this. But I would say that it should be a warning to them that actually, even if you make reason and rationalism your gods, you may fail to live up to your ideals. And these people in that poll, Rita, most certainly have failed to live up to those ideals.
Douglas Murray, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for your time this evening.
Great pleasure. Thank you.